Hello, everyone. This is our first podcast, me
Yes.
and you. You can see he's clearly tomato red, nervous of the cameras.
No, I'm not tomato red, man. It's my first podcast. So
Yeah, so this is our
I don't
first
look
podcast.
good on the camera too.
But this is our first podcast. Just for a brief introduction about what this is going to be about. So my name's Aaron. I come from a social media background, and I'm 18. Always lived in Dubai, and I have a curiosity for real estate. And this is Omar, the quote unquote real estate expert.
Kinda. I mean, it's been like what 3 years and a half almost. I
Yeah.
mean, before real estate, I was a civil engineer. So I said, you know what? Instead of building real estate, how about selling real estate? Obviously, that wasn't my dad's choice. He wanted
Yeah.
me to be an engineer. I mean, I did work for like a year and a half, and then I'm like, you know what? The money's not worth it, first of all. And then the weather is so bad in Dubai to be working as an engineer. And then
Yeah.
it's like there's no time management. All of a sudden I get a call at 4:30 a.m. Yo, we have pouring of concrete.
Yeah.
Because before the sun comes out and stuff. So people might not understand what I mean, but I get a 4:30 a.m. duty call to come out, get up from sleep, come out. We have concrete to pour. Hurry up. So I said, you know what? I'm sick of this. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then the project I was working in, I don't think I should mention the name of the project.
Yeah.
The project I was working in stopped.
Oh.
Obviously, because there's no
Restrictions
gathering, yes,
and
and
yeah.
all that. Yeah, exactly. So then I was sitting at home. Obviously, they've everything is shut down.
Yeah.
Plus, they were slowly by slowly. So in civil engineering, basically in construction,
Yeah.
when a project finishes or like stops for whatever reason, the engineers working in that project are just like on hold.
Oh.
Either they're going to be shifted, they're working in the company, but either
Yeah.
they're going to be shifted to another construction project that is related to obviously to the same
Yeah.
contractor, to the same company that you're working in, or you're fired, basically. So I was just like in the middle of like, am I fired? Am I not?
And
We're
you just said,
chilling at
"Screw
home
it."
till they make up their mind
Yeah.
on me. So at that time, I was watching a lot of YouTube at home. That was I got to know Ryan Serhant. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
get to know him personally, obviously, but I started watching. I was like, this is nice. And then I started like back to back backing
Real
his
estate,
videos. Is that the
yeah.
thing? Back to backing his videos,
Yeah.
like
Binging.
binging. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just video after video after video, and then I like the idea of wearing like suits.
No suit on.
No, I mean, not fully. Just the jacket remaining, and then the watch, and then meeting people, new people every
Yeah.
day, and it's also the curiosity. Yes, the money is amazing in it, but it's also the curiosity. It's like you want to know what is he doing not for work. I mean, like, what does he operate? What's his business? How is he making his money? And you'd be surprised that
Yeah.
I met a lot of people who are like so weird businesses. Like, you make millions off this business? Like,
Yeah.
is that a thing? And then so I like that part. I'm a curious person.
Yeah.
I would love to know why you're wearing that shoes. Also, I mean, that's too much curiosity. But
Yeah.
no, I'm super curious ever since I was a kid. Obviously, I'm not saying wow, I'm amazing. I'm the most curious
Yeah.
person. But there are people who are just curious. I want to know, why did you wear white today? It's like or beige white or off white.
Yeah, just like for no
Stuff like
yeah.
that. So weird. I mean, sometimes I sound weird too, by the way. Anyway, I did
But-
speak a lot about myself, but anyway. So I've been doing real estate for like 3 years and a half. I'm not the top seller, big
Yet.
boy
Yet.
yet.
Soon to
I
come.
mean, I do sales here and there, but I love real estate as an investment perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously end users that I serve to, but I
Why
like
do
the
you
investment.
think real estate is one of the best investments that anybody can make?
Oh, that's such a cheesy question, bro. But it's
No,
like,
but I mean, it is the
I mean,
question.
real
Yeah.
estate is like a super classy asset. It's like it's a winner for a long time. So basically, I'll tell you this: anyone who's looking to invest looks at the history of that type of investment or the
Yeah.
probability of success for that type of investment. If it's been doing well for 100, 200, 300, 400 years, gazillion years,
Yeah.
then and what's the the probability rate for that success?
Yeah.
So is it like a 70% success rate asset class? Is it an 80% success? So it's like nothing is 100% guaranteed. It's like where you get into an investment, it's
Obviously,
like 100%
yeah.
win. But if obviously throughout time, everyone needs real estate. Everyone needs shelter, basically.
Yeah.
So
Homes
either,
is always going to be there.
exactly, either, and the population is growing, so there is the increased demand of
Homes.
real
Yeah.
estate, either through investment or either to personally live in it.
Yeah.
Also, for investment, it's going to be for rent for someone. So it's regardless, it's either for rent or to purchase.
But regardless, somebody's going to be staying in that home.
Exactly, and they pay for
Regardless.
that, obviously, for
Yeah.
that home, which is rent, obviously. So it's like through time, obviously, it's the most safest bet. Stocks, bonds, all that. Yes, it's amazing, but still, stocks is not guaranteed as much as assets.
Really? Why do you think so?
Because sometimes you hear about these big companies going bankrupt. Like this Netflix and that other company where they were competing, obviously the Blockbuster.
Blockbuster,
So
yeah.
before Netflix, Blockbuster was the biggest, not movie production, but
DVDs and
yeah,
VHS.
they were like the thing, the
yeah,
DVD,
yeah.
CDs and stuff like, and they didn't change. Now that's another thing. They didn't change their medium or their platform. So basically, it was
they didn't adapt to the
they
current
didn't
market.
adapt to change, and Netflix took over. So what happened to whoever invested in Blockbuster back then? If it was, I think it was public.
Yeah, should have been.
Whoever invested in that company stock wise obviously lost
A lot
so-
of money too.
Yeah, exactly. So
Now
if
they only
really
have one
went-
store.
exactly, but yes,
Yeah, they have
exactly.
one
They
store,
had
yeah.
like all over the US, they had stores, and all of a sudden it's one store, and it's not one store that's making money. It's just basically like a souvenir of what Blockbuster
Yeah,
is.
it's in the negative probably.
Yeah,
let's
it's
be
a
real.
legacy kind of company, but it's
Yeah.
now it's gone. The same thing with also the what was those cameras?
Those VHS cameras,
Yeah, there was a
Polaroids.
Polaroids, and then something came after it. I think it was Sony or
Oh,
something.
I'm
like
too
that.
young.
Yeah, but the same thing is same idea, but it's like it's never like 100% guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Real estate as an asset is kind of 100% guaranteed because it's never gonna go to zero like Blockbuster did.
Yeah,
It's gonna go down maybe, yes, when the demand decreases, but
you will still be able to exit at some sort of exit price.
yeah, at least you lose maybe 50-60% of your money if like worse comes to worse, but you don't necessarily need to sell because it's getting you cash flow,
Yeah,
because some stocks give you dividends. So when you invest in some stocks, it gives you like a cash flow, which is
Small,
tiny.
yeah.
Exactly. Whereas in real estate, it gives you more. But yeah, I mean, I would also consider like Dubai real estate, especially if you were gonna speak about real estate in Dubai. It's one of the ROIs, highest ROIs in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
It could go up to 13-15%. I've seen a property making 20% ROI per year over the original price on the property, which is crazy. This is unbelievable numbers. You know, I was talking to investors about this property. Because it's, I myself, I'm astonished by that. I don't know if I should say the name of the property. It was Club Villas, actually,
Yeah.
in Dubai Hills. And I was shocked. There was this owner who had, him and his sister, who had 2 properties in Club
Yeah.
Villas. And they were renting it out at 70,000 per month for 10 months a year. And they bought that property each for 3.2. So if you calculate that 3.2 and they're making like 700,000 in the year, that's 20%.
yeah,
And the service charge is not that a lot on villas and townhouses, not a lot as much as apartments.
yeah.
So he's making a lot of money.
But why do you think that Dubai right now is like the hot spot?
I mean,
you
ever
know?
since COVID,
Well,
obviously.
yeah. Ever since COVID, there's
that's
been a
obvious, bro.
ramp,
Everyone knows that.
But why though?
I mean, everyone knows that still because it's safe and Dubai handled COVID amazingly and there's opportunities and it's a growing city. And by the way, if you think about it, it is like growing. Besides being the full country developed since 50 or 52 years ago,
Yeah,
like Dubai itself is like a tourist hub or like a hub for expats. Basically, there's a
Yeah.
lot of. I mean, yes, there's expats in other Emirates too, but it's like Dubai built the city in such a way for these people to like communicate with each other, and whether it's through business, whether it's through, I don't know, going out, whether it's through whatever it is, the mixed culture, whether it's food, whether it is I don't know, whatever. I don't know. My head
Yeah.
is not straight right now. We're shooting a bit freestyling on this. It's our first podcast. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, if you wanted to speak about Dubai real estate, I mean, this is what the podcast is going to be
Yeah.
about. So in this first episode, we are going to be like kind of briefly speaking about Dubai real estate. in
yeah,
general.
just in general. Yeah,
Yeah, and
what's
then
going on?
later on by episodes, it will be like we're gonna speak about each master
Specific,
plan
yeah.
or area. Let's say, for example, one episode will be about downtown.
Yeah.
And I'll go through the history of it. Now, who am I to speak on these stuff? It's not like I've been experienced for like 20 years or something, but I research a lot. And
Yeah.
I can compete with anyone in knowledge. It's not egotistical or something, but
It's the
like
curiosity mindset.
yes,
That at the
and
end of
going
the
back
day,
to that
yeah.
exactly. So it's like sometimes you might find me not sleeping up until 4 a.m., 5 a.m. just searching. Why is Palm Jumeirah?
Why is Bulgari Island this? Yeah.
Or why is Palm Jumeirah that? Or why is this? I don't know. What was the original prices back in 20 years ago for the garden homes? Oh
Yeah.
my God, they're selling for 30 million now. The original price of them were 2.5. A client
He has the
wants
most random facts about property you will ever find.
Exactly. I don't know. Sometimes I might feel like, is it useful to people or not useful? Sometimes I think like, am I wasting people's
But now
time
we have
with
this,
info?
so now it's ultimately going to be useful.
Hopefully it's useful to people. Yeah, that's true. And you're in the like the process of learning.
Learning too, yeah. So I
Yeah.
get to benefit from his random facts that he
Yeah,
has.
That's true. I mean, you will hopefully by the time you turn, I don't know, 20, and you're like fully like you wanna be independent, be an agent. I mean, you are. Hopefully, I'm a great school. Hopefully, and then you come out with all
Fair
this
enough.
information, and then this crazy guy taught me a lot of weird information at 2 a.m. He's texting me about something, and by the way, we text up until 4 a.m. about work. I remember in the weekend we were texting back and forth. I'm like, bro, aren't you gonna sleep? Like, I'm up. Why are you up? And I'm sitting with my friend. He's like, why are you texting back and forth? Like, you're so on the phone. I'm like, work. I'm like, he looked at that. He's like, what? Work? But anyway,
He has
back
the
to-
knowledge, I have the hard work. Or we both
Oh,
have
so
the
I
hard
don't
work.
have the hard work. I mean, lately I've been a bit lazy, to be honest. It's been like 10 months. I've been like
He's
kind
just
of
harsh
off
on
work.
himself.
I've been lazy, to be honest, if we were to keep it real. But anyway.
Dubai real estate.
Dubai real
What is the
estate.
current market on right
Like,
now?
it's been super hot ever since like what 2 years? 2 years ago? 2
Ever
years
since
and a
COVID
half?
time, basically.
No, but like when COVID hit and I just got into real estate, I was doing off plan. Now I was struggling with off plan too because at that time the resale prices were much hotter than. I mean, not resale prices. Sorry, the secondary market was much hotter than the off plan market because there was a lot of distress deals. Now, what is distress deals? Is basically people selling for like a discount. They want to
Extreme
exit.
discount,
Yes,
yeah.
they want to exit. And these are the people that lost a lot of money or couldn't hold. Or there was a situation, for example, where there was like I remember back 2 years and a half ago when I was speaking to this owner. At that time, I was specializing in downtown. I was speaking to this owner. He's Saudi. And he wanted in a building, which I'm not going to mention the name because that building is like they sold for a high price because it's going to be a bad
Name on the building.
on the
Yeah.
developer, actually,
Yeah.
not on the building. So he bought from the developer at X price and he almost lost, no, actually more than 2 million. He lost 2 million on each property. He bought 5 2-bedroom apartments at an
So
X
that's
price.
a 10 million loss.
Yeah, and then he resold for 2 million less. Can you imagine?
Oh.
It was kind of overpriced because at that time when he bought it at the peak market back in 2014. So right now we're in a peak market, just to let you know. And
2014 was a peak market?
yes, and we've crossed that. So by now, but I think since 5 months ago, we've crossed the peak of 2014, and we're still going up. So till
So
when I have
this
no
is
idea.
the new peak. So this is the new peak.
I mean, can we say it's the peak because we're still not at the end of it? Can it go still more up, or will there be? I wouldn't say a crash. I cannot say a crash. I'll say price correction, because there are some properties that are valued way more than they are worth because of the hype, and there are properties that are really the value, like the values in there in that
Yeah.
property. Those properties will never go down after hitting those peak prices, like Jumeirah Bay Island, like some properties in Dubai Hills, like some properties in Palm Jumeirah, I would say even.
Yeah.
Basically, I would say it's like the high end properties. I don't think they will go down because
Do you think high-end properties are typically affected by the market
not so
trends?
much because I feel like I don't know, maybe I might be naive, but high net worth individuals always have money.
So they don't care to sell.
Yeah,
At
they
a
don't
low
get to sell.
price,
Like I
yeah.
know I'm right now okay. So I'll tell you how a property is priced the way it is.
Okay.
It's basically supply demand. Anything you see, whatever any agent or any investor or anyone that says this, that reason for the peak in price and why is this dropping in price, why is that, blah, 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 all this is like you can throw it and in
Yeah.
the bin. But it's like, to keep it very simple, it's a supply demand equation.
Hmm.
If the supply is here and the demand is here, prices will go up.
Yeah.
If it's the other way around, if the supply is high and the demand is lower than the supply in the market for sale,
Yeah.
then the prices go down. So let's say there is no properties for sale in Jumeirah Bay Island. No one wants to sell because we're in a slow market and stuff like that. Now, if there is one person looking for a property for sale and there is one property for sale in Jumeirah Bay Island, then it's a match. Let's say, for example, there is no properties for sale in Jumeirah Bay Island at the current market, like a specific time in a market,
Nobody cares.
and
Right?
there
They're
is like
just not
five
selling.
buyers,
Yeah.
five buyers, and they can't find. They will eventually put a price on the property.
They will succumb to it. They'll just be
Exactly.
like, yeah.
So, for example, the property that the most expensive property that ever sold in Dubai, which is in Palm Jumeirah,
Was that Ambani?
yes, Mokesh Shambani.
Yeah.
So it's like that property wasn't for sale up until he put a price. Like everything is for sale. Like this quote that everyone says, like everything is for sale. That's true, actually. Up until you put a price that you say, you know what, take it.
If you throw enough money at something,
Yes, exactly. So that's
yeah.
why I feel like these high end properties will I won't say will never go down up until maybe you'll find a very rare case where someone needs cash. Someone from these owners need cash. But these are all high net worth individuals who own these properties. So it's
Yeah.
like they have several streams of income. So it's like they will never. It's like I can't say they will never go broke, but they always have. If this flow of cash shuts down, this income shuts down. I
They
have
have
like
another
7
one.
other ways to to get income, or like that I'm getting income from.
Yeah.
If it's a group company that he owns, or if it's this much amount of investments that he have that's getting him cash flow, and so on and so on. So, oof,
You think high net worth or high end properties in the extreme high end, not just
yeah, the extreme
10,
high
not
end,
just
yeah,
10
yeah.
million, where
like a
yeah,
building that is
100
all
million,
penthouses,
yeah.
not like addresses and stuff like that. Like where you might find a 1 bedroom and then you'll find a penthouse. No, I mean like a building or a complex that's all penthouses, or a compound that's all mansions.
80
or,
million, 100 million, those
exactly.
type of deals.
I don't
yeah.
think you'll find like a distress deal in those areas.
Distress 80 million.
Yeah. So anyway, back to that owner,
Yeah.
the Saudi owner of those 5 properties that lost around 2 million on each property because he needed to sell.
10 million loss. Yeah.
Yeah, so he had a 10 million loss, and why he needed to sell is because he was affected by his business at COVID. His business was basically, he had a big company. He's one of the biggest companies for those not tour company. It's like for Hajj. Hajj and Umrah. So people that travel to Saudi to do their
Flights.
pilgrimage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the full package. So he provided the flights, the bus tours, and the hotel, the night stays, and the
Yeah.
food and everything, like a full package to these people. And he was one of the biggest in Saudi. So he had like around 245 properties, and most of them were on the bank, on Rajhi Bank. So that is based in Saudi. So the bank actually told him that we will freeze all your properties unless you need to give
Pay a
us
certain amount.
you need to exit some properties, give us
Liquidate.
like cash. Yes, you need to liquidate and like give us cash for the next installments and stuff like that. So he was widely affected because like obviously in COVID, travel ban, no one is going anywhere.
So he
And this Hajj Umrah stopped, no one is going to Hajj Umrah, and so like not alone flying there, let alone people in Saudi cannot even go to Hajj and Umrah. So his business is totally corrupted. So it's zero. Like all of a sudden he's making, let's say if he's making 25-30 million per month, he's now making 0 per month.
Oof.
So that's a bad shift
Yeah.
all of a sudden. So he had to exit around 26-27 properties on a loss.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean like
Did those properties depreciate, or was he just decreasing the prices?
now here's the thing, back to our supply demand equation. So let's say in that building, if there is 20 properties for sale and three investors or 3 people are looking to purchase in that building.
Yeah.
So
Supply is higher, so
yeah, exactly. So then people will compete on prices. No, I want to sell my property. No, I want to sell my property. So what do? They drop his he drops his price, he drops his price, he drops till like I'm not in a hurry. If I come, I say a good deal, I'll buy. Okay, you don't want to take this offer, I'll go to the next one. You have 20 properties for sale in the same building.
yeah.
So, and people need to exit. I need cash.
Eventually.
So,
Yeah.
so I'll keep dropping my price. Actually, that property, it was less. Okay, you know what? Let me say the price. It was at 3.4.
What was
And-
market?
The market at that time was around 1.92 million.
Oof. So the property itself already lost value.
Yes, and the market value decides on the buyers, which I'll come around this point because there's a lot of confusion about seller's market, it's a buyer's market. I
Yeah.
think which I'll speak about this later. Anyways, just not to jump around stuff. So he wanted to sell all five two-bedroom apartments for 1.8, which is still a good price according to the market price. And
Yeah.
there was still no demand on it. There was no offers. A month passed by, a second month passed by, no one
It's
wanted
like
it.
I need it 1.4.
Actually 1.5, and then he
Oh.
dropped it to 1.2. And then actually one of them went for even 1.1.
Oof,
One of those five
that's
properties.
bad.
So it's like it was very bad on him. Like him, there were several other people like him in
Yeah.
that market when COVID hit.
So he bought at 3.4 and the property value, market value, not what his price as, was 1.9.
Yes.
So that was a terrible investment.
So that's the market value. Now,
Yeah.
distress is does not mean distress is not when it is below the original price. Distress is when it's below the market price. So the market price for it is 1.8. Yes, it's below what he bought it for, but that's the market price. That's not distress.
market price is market price.
Now, when he sold at 1.2, that's a distress. That's
Yeah.
below market price, which was 1.8. And it's not like the market price was 1.8, 1.9 in demand.
It was 1.8, 1.9.
And no
That's
one
just what
wanted
it
it,
is.
kinda.
Yeah.
So it's like the person who bought of it decided that the market price would be at 1.8.
Where was this? Not the exact building, but where was the location of this unit?
It was in a very good location also. It was not by Amar, just to hit the curiosity. It was in downtown.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first row of downtown is all by Amar on the Sheikh
Yeah,
Mohammed
yeah.
bin Rashid Boulevard. And then the second row, there are several developers.
Yeah. Anybody who has money can
It
buy a
was
plot.
it was very close to downtown. It was very close to Dubai Mall, which is even crazier, by the way.
So a Dubai Mall yeah.
It's just crazy. It's like I remember I had a viewing on this property with two clients.
Yeah.
One was a Chinese buyer, Chinese investor, and one was Indian. And I'm like, Chinese, Indian, not to be stereotypical or anything, but this is a good discount. You need to put an offer. And they were thinking about it. Like, I'm like, whoa, why are you thinking? This is the original price. This is the market price. Here's the report. And this is the asking price.
Yeah.
You're 700,000
below.
below market price. And the rent, guess what the rent was at that time? Not now, at that time with COVID.
So market value is 109, 1.9.
Yeah.
So maybe like 140, 150.
Close. I mean, but that's a high number for COVID times. That is not AMR. Anyway,
Right. Yeah.
it was renting at 110, 115. So it's still amazing. I mean, it's still 9-10% ROI on a property that you'll buy
If
at
you buy it at
1.1 or
1.1.
1.2. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's not a bad ROI. Plus, if you hold on to it for at least a year, market picks up a bit, or 2 years, market picks up a bit, you're gonna sell. I won't say 3.4, but it will pick up to at least 1.8, 1.9, 2 million.
Yeah.
So if you made 600 to 800,000 in capital appreciation within a year, because you're matching market price, which is the current market
Yeah.
price you're in right now,
Yeah.
and you're getting almost 10% ROI, what else do you need? They
Not
did put an
wrong.
offer,
Yeah.
and they took a while. And then one of the buyers, the Indian buyer, actually came back to me like 10 days after that. And he's
Yeah.
like saying, you know what? I'm thinking of putting an offer. I'm like, too late. Yesterday it sold. And then he got angry. And the agent that brought me the buyer also got angry. I'm like, yo, I told you this is a good deal and you didn't take it.
It's your
Why are you
fault.
coming to me like I sold it to someone else? Like, okay, it happened. It
Yeah,
sold.
it's your fault. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So I mean, the property he bought it at 3.4. Market value was 1.9. Obviously, on paper, that wasn't the best move.
no, yeah,
Right.
obviously that was
Yeah.
the best one.
So, what do you think are the best factors in buying a property that could make sure that you guarantee or at least match
No, okay.
what
wait.
you bought it for?
Before, no. I can't say guaranteed. There is nothing guaranteed. I mean, even though Dubai real estate, I would consider Dubai to like be the best in the world, or like the easiest market to be making a lot of money, real estate wise. Obviously, all this we're talking about real estate. It's the easiest place to make money, a lot of money in real estate, and it could be the easiest place you lose a lot of money in real estate too. Like I just
Both
mentioned
sides
this
of the
point.
coin.
Exactly. I just mentioned that point where he lost 2 million from the original price.
Yeah.
Whereas you have people that tripled up and like the worth of the property. If they bought it, let's say it's 5 million, it's worth 15 million. Like if you look at Jumeirah Bay Island,
Yeah.
it's like triple, 4 times the price. There was one property, I think it went like for 29. It was a penthouse. So it like 29, it sold for 155 million.
Oof.
It was like 5 times the price. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And there are people who lost, like this guy lost like 60% worth of the property
Yeah.
or 50% worth of the property. So it's the easiest place and the easiest place to lose and make a lot of money. Now, how do you win? Obviously, it's like obvious because most of the city is being built.
Yeah.
most of the investors are into off-plan or either good deals in ready properties, but into off-plan. The best investment is off-plan, regardless. Even though we're right
Why
now,
so?
I'll tell you why.
Because some people do think off-plan is kind of overpriced
Right
also.
now, it is kinda for some projects.
Yes.
Or like a lot of projects that is overpriced, but there are some which are I like feel like I like undervalued. I feel like Mina Rashid is undervalued. Obviously, Palm Jebel Ali is super futuristic, but it's still undervalued. Now, obviously, people are saying Dubai South. Dubai South has a lot of. I don't know about Dubai South, to be honest. Even though there's a vision, there's the airport and everything, but who would want to live beside the airport? I mean, planes flying above your head and
Constant
stuff like
noise.
that. Yeah, so I mean,
Traffic
it is
as
the
well.
future. It is the future. I'm not being negative or anything.
Yeah.
But then I will never predict the future. I can never predict. Now, someone else can say, oh, this is the next big thing and stuff like that. That's him. But for me, I don't know. Because I base out my facts at least on what's the history behind that area.
Yeah.
Because I'm born and raised here. I've been hearing about DIP and the projects in DIP, and then DIP didn't turn out to be anything. Dubai Investment Park. So this is the new area and blah, 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 the
Yeah.
green community. And then
Nothing too crazy.
nothing too
It's
crazy.
a good
happened.
community, but nothing.
It's nice. There is
it's
demand
nothing
for
too
it,
crazy.
but not crazy demand.
yeah.
Will Dubai South be the same thing? I have no idea. I can never judge. But what I can judge is the probability or the history timeline behind that master community. Let's say if it's a master community in that specific location, what are the other communities beside it doing? Or what's the history of the other communities beside it done or doing?
Yeah.
So I can base it off that, because no one can say for sure this project is a winning project, but it's a 90% probability of winning.
You can
Like-
have everything. You can have
Exactly.
all the
Like-
factors and it could still lose somehow.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like Mina Rashid, Amar, and it's there is low inventory. It's like city walk style, it's short
Yeah.
buildings, 6 to 8 floors and stuff like that, and it's like a full master community for Amar waterfront.
Yeah.
If you were to speak about like a master plan by Amar waterfront, let's say the history of it is like the only one by Amar master plan on the water is like Amar beachfront.
Yeah.
They doubled up in prices. Obviously, by the latest launches by now, because the market was on the rise, the developer also increased the price. So I would say it's also wise to invest in the start of a master plan, not the end of it. After you see the prices jumping.
You don't think off-plan resale could potentially work?
No, off-plan resale will work when people will win an off-plan resale at
Yeah.
the first few phases, not the end. Because by the end, Amar beachfront sales started decreasing, like the demand started decreasing.
Yeah.
The demand is there, don't get me wrong, but what
It wasn't as hot as it
what
came
was
out.
let's say even
It
when they launched
dwindled.
but even when it launched the 3 beds, when like I'll give you an example. When Sunrise Bay, the first project that launched in Amar beachfront, launched I think in around 2016 if I'm not mistaken, the 3 beds was around 3.5 3.6. Right now the latest phases are launching for 6.8 6.9.
From
that's
Amar
double.
themselves.
Yes, from Amar themselves, from like the developer itself. So it's like already double the price.
Yeah.
So obviously the demand, even though Sunrise Bay will match up to the developer's price, but I'm getting something ready. Sunrise Bay is ready. Marina Vista is ready. Beach Vista is ready for that price. Would I
Yeah.
put, unless I am someone that would need a payment plan, I don't want to either pay in cash or go through mortgage. I want a 3-4 year payment plan. Then I will go for that. Yeah. But other than that,
otherwise,
what's the point?
Why not just buy the one that's already ready? It's
Exactly,
ready.
exactly.
It can give you ROI today.
Exactly. So Mina Rashid is like, I think, winner. Like blindly double the price because the 1 bedroom is launching at 1.6. I think the last project 1.6, 1.7.
Yeah.
I don't find any reason for it not to go, the 1 bedroom to go 3 million, because Port de la Mer is selling, the 1 bed is selling from between 2.5 to 2.8. And that's kind of like a different style. Amar is like the contemporary style. The designs of the building is
Yeah.
in contemporary, which the demand is there for
Yeah.
contemporary style. Whereas in Port de la Mer, it's like more
It's Port de
it's
la
more
Mer, Elisab.
Mediterranean style. Mhm.
It's Port de la Mer, Elisab.
No, Miras by Miras. What do you mean
Ah.
Elisab?
Elisab, the designer.
No. It's not by
I got
Elisab.
confused. Yeah.
I think you're confused because the amount of Elisab, because Elisab is just ridiculous right now. Everyone is launching a project branded by Elisab.
I
think
thought it was Elisab. Yeah.
we're gonna have a conversation also about this branded residences thing. I love branded residences. However, I do not agree with branded residences just thrown all over the place. Because if you were to think about it, just speaking about Elisab has like what? There's so many
20,
projects
30
branded,
projects by now.
yeah, branded by Elisab. It's like they lose the value of it. And by the way, Amar recently even spoke about they will stop doing branded residences. They'll do their own
Oh,
thing, either Palace or Address, their own brands. They'll stop doing the St. Regis. And
why?
St. Regis is not a bad brand. I have no idea because it's like, why aren't you monetizing off your own brand?
Yeah.
So you have your own luxury or like the hospitality brand. Why aren't you monetizing off that? Why would you monetize someone else like St. Regis or Elisab, where they had Elisab for what's it called, Palm Hills and Dubai Hills, or Elisab Villas and Arabian Ranches 3.
Yeah.
So even Amar had several, and Lamborghini Villas in Dubai Hills.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like the branded residences were taken a bit
Too extreme.
too
Everybody
extreme.
just started launching.
Yes, and I really don't know what's gonna happen 4 or 5 years down the line when all of these hand over, and then like, who's gonna be the best pick? What's gonna be the best pick for people?
Yeah.
Which brand the residences of them will win? I feel like the hospitality branded brand ones will win, like St. Regis, the W,
Why do you think so?
because this is their specialty, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But Lamborghini, they're into cars. So
Yeah. The
why
houses
would
were
why
when the
would I
house
buy
is
a-
called V10, V8 or something like
no,
that.
the types were V10 and V12 in Dubai Hills, which is a bit cheesy from Airmar, but it's like, it's sold anyway. It was like 67.
Who cares, man? I made
matches.
them money. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of, yeah, I mean, obviously the resale, I mean, Ammar, I would say like 90% of the properties from Ammar always sell above their original price. Or I think
Yeah.
all of them. It's like, also it depends at the time, like, at what timeline are you in the market? Are you in the phase of like the low market or the high market? But even in the low market, you wouldn't see a lot of people going below OP. Not a lot.
With MR projects.
Yeah, because there's always demand with MR. MR is like number one. It's like whoever thinks about, I don't know whether I should invest in an MR project or not, it's just like ridiculous. That's a ridiculous statement. Because MR is a winner blindly. If you invest in MR, you're winning, regardless.
Yeah.
You invest in a high market, you invest in a low market, MR always wins.
Anywhere you walk in Dubai, you'll just see MR sign here,
Yeah,
here,
exactly.
there,
And
there.
I'll tell you why it always wins. It's because obviously the demand, the reputation.
Yeah.
Because they always deliver what they promise.
Yeah.
That's one. I mean, obviously construction is slow sometimes here and there due to whatever reasons, either financial or COVID. Like the COVID is
Yeah.
a great example where construction stopped for like 6
Yeah.
months, I think. So it postponed. So many projects got postponed. So construction timeline is something that you can't control, but they will try to make up for it, at least reasonably. And
Yeah.
their quality, I wouldn't say is like wow. Obviously, there are some projects where the quality is wow, and there are some projects where like a bit disappointing, but it's still gonna be there. Like Cedar and Maple and Dubai Hills, the quality wasn't the best. However, there is still demand, and it still went more than double the price.
Yeah.
So if you think about it,
It's
quality,
never bad.
It's
That's
never
the
bad,
thing,
but
right? Yeah.
if you think about it, is quality a thing? I mean, yes, for the luxury market, it should be. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But then for the normal residentials, is quality a thing? Because they still doubled up in price and the quality was like mediocre.
So what do you think was the main factor?
I think the community and the location and the complexity of it. It is very sophisticated because Dubai has literally everything. There's a
How
residential.
about you just brief Dubai Hills very quickly
I mean,
for all the viewers?
there will be a video on that. I mean, you know
But
that we'll
just
be
like
doing
a
video.
small brief, yeah.
Yeah,
A small
exactly.
brief on Dubai Hills.
So hopefully these podcasts will be like 20 to 25 minutes. I mean, I'm speaking quick.
Yeah.
Hopefully people are not bothered by that. Whoever's gonna watch, the 2-3 people who are gonna watch at first. Hopefully till later till we gather more views.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Briefly, Dubai Hills.
so
How would you start?
How about we skip that for the next next video?
Okay, then one thing I want to ask too is, as a investor coming into Dubai, you probably see a lot of developers here. You briefly mentioned MR, Miras.
Yeah.
What are some brief about the developers here? Who do you think are the best to go to, and who do you think?
That's a tricky
Yeah.
question because like I don't like if I mention the developers, so then other people will be thinking, well, you didn't mention this developer. Why? Is it because it's bad? Are you
No, but it's
are you bashing the developer or something? Because it's like
it's all-
in
it's
Dubai
all
it's like
preference,
risky.
though.
In Dubai you can get a defamation lawsuit on. So
Your
say,
favorite.
Let's say yes. If I were like a top project,
Yeah.
and if I were to pick, I would pick between Amar, some of Nakhil projects, not all, some of Dubai properties projects, most of Miras projects, Ellington, most of Ellington projects. Um, you know what? There are some developers which I'll give it to them. To be honest, they are small. However, they're showcasing nice. I mean,
Nice things.
yeah, nice things. I mean,
Promising.
they didn't hand over something yet, as far as I know. Imtiaz. So
Imtiaz.
from the show apartment, from the quality of the buildings, the finishes that they because some of these are like because obviously because my background is civil engineering, I do know the like some of the contractors that are building their current projects or going to build their current projects because right now they're in bidding stage. I don't want to go so deep,
Yeah.
but the quality that they're picking is nice. I feel like it's almost Ellington kind of finishes.
So kind of luxury.
No,
'Cause
no, no, I wouldn't consider it luxury. It's like you could say the middle class luxury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So because the obviously the projects are like in a location where there can't be a luxury. Obviously, like JVC, you can't have like it's not considered luxury. I mean, it's nice.
6-bedroom mansion at JVC.
It's nice, but it's like you didn't expect like luxury type of properties
Yeah.
over there. It's like it's nice, it's chic, it's prestigious, the finishes and everything. But other than that, I would say these developers I would pick from. Other than that, is like maybe I would win, maybe I would lose a lot of money. I don't know.
But that's your favorite right now.
Yeah, because like it shows the pre. Okay, so let us see if I was to look at this developer's project. Okay, let me look at the previous projects. If 65% of their previous projects went below original price,
You don't have.
I wouldn't play the dice on that on this new project. So it's like it's a risky game. And then, by the way, there's a lot of agents. No disrespect to them, they're hustling. But
They'll pitch anything with the highest commission. I'll say it for them.
that too, yes. And it's like it's I don't know, to be honest. It's like they're very incentivized. So I feel like I mean, and there's no control. It's not illegal what they're doing,
Yeah.
but they don't know, or even worse, they might know
And they're just
this is
doing
a
it,
losing
yeah.
project or might lose project, a high probability of losing, and they're just like still selling it, which is like, oh, that's even worse, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of agents where they're not knowledgeable enough
To know what's good
yeah,
and bad.
because so many of them, the intentions of getting into real estate was money. That's it.
I mean, it's everybody's intention at the end of the day.
Yes. But is it the whole intention?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, my intention was like, oh, I'll be making more money than civil engineering.
And I get to help people, and I'm a.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when I got into it, I'll be honest, at first I thought of it as like, oh, money, oh, suits, oh, getting to know people. And then later on, it's like saying, no, I really like the analysis part of the investment in real estate. Because it's like, unfortunately, because of my background in civil engineering, I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
So it's
Why is that
always-
unfortunate? That's the investor's dream.
I mean,
to
yes,
like to stare
yes.
at numbers.
But it's like headache, to be honest. But at the same time, it's like it's obviously very useful. It's amazing. But then some people, unfortunately, are like thinking, you're talking a lot of sense. However, I feel like it's too good to be true what you're saying, or I don't want to believe what you're saying. Why? It's because there's a lot of agents that are talking crap, unfortunately, and they don't know what to believe. The investors don't know what to believe. Do I believe this agent? Do I believe that agent? Do I believe this agent? Okay, is that agent knowledgeable? He might be like, oh, I've been 7 years, 10 years in the game, but
And
he's
yeah.
been 1 year in the game.
He takes the metro to the viewings.
maybe that too. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't judge still on that.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's faking it, but it's like he's not knowledgeable enough. Now, how would an agent know? How would an investor know if that agent is really the agent that I need to be working with or no? I have no idea. That's why we're doing this podcast thing, at least so that there could be like a filter. At least
Yeah.
people can see if we're talking stuff that makes sense or no. Later on, we'll speak details on each community's master plans and stuff. We'll talk maybe a bit of numbers because people get bored of numbers, by the way. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Why I said unfortunately is because people get bored of numbers. Because I realized this when I'm talking to people on the line, like numbers wise, they just cut me off and then it's like, oh, okay, and they try to like, you know what?
Yeah.
Either move on, basically move on, whether it's
Yeah.
like move on, let's meet, or move on. I don't want to listen to all these numbers. Yes, I would like to have a short brief, but I don't want the full analysis.
I just want you to let me know it works and why it works.
Yes, and unfortunately, there are.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people lose money in real estate in Dubai. It's because
They don't analyze enough.
they don't analyze enough. That's one. And two, they get fooled around because when you're coming to invest in a property, you do not need to put your heart into it. It's like mind. You need to put your mind. It's like, what are the numbers? I don't care what the property looks like. What's the size? Where is it facing? Is it facing left or right? Because everyone wants the best view. Are you willing to pay for it? Is the rent gonna be a good ROI for it? Is it worth it? Because if you were to look, for example, in the addresses, the Burj Khalifa facing is 1 million higher than the one that's not facing Burj Khalifa, but the rental difference is not that much between
much?
both apartments. I mean, I forgot, but I mean, I don't know what is it right now in the market, but I would say maximum 40k difference, 50k difference.
So very marginal for a 1
no,
million
what will make a
purchase.
difference? What will make a difference is the demand on that property, to be honest, and it will increase in price than the one behind.
Yeah.
So it's like there will be like people interested in the Burj Khalifa view and ready to pay for that price than. And owners who bought those properties, like investors that bought the properties, know that, and they're just asking for ridiculous prices later on. It's like, oh, I bought it for 5.5. You know what? My asking price is 7.5.
Why
1 year
not?
later. After
Why not?
yeah, because he saw demand. It's like, and there are a lot of, over the last 3 years, I've talked to owners, and when I speak to investors or owners or whatever, I also want to hear how do they think. And people don't do that. Agents don't do that. They always wanna sell something to the investor
Instead
or
of
to the
hearing
owner.
them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hearing their investment strategy, hearing
Exactly.
their
What's
thought
their investment?
process.
Why? Sometimes I'm like speaking to an owner, he wants to sell. I'm like, why do you want to sell? So few agents say that, by the way, on the phone. It's
Yeah.
like, why do you want to sell? Do you need the cash? Some of them might say no. So why sell? Just keep it.
Yeah.
If you need the cash, okay, I would understand. Maybe you need to like some liquidity for like a payment plan that you have upcoming because you've invested in several other properties, or maybe you want to put some cash into the business. You want to like flush the cash with some flush the business with some cashers. But it's like, other than that, why do you need to sell? You don't need to sell. You're getting good ROI out of it or a good rental out of it. What's the point of selling?
A property will always
Yes,
be
exactly.
there. Yeah.
But then others are like, no, you need to sell. We're at the highest mark. You can get a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Or like or pitching it to investors.
Just
Pitching
don't
something
fall
to
into the
them.
hype. Don't fall into
There's a lot of people that follow. There are so many projects where like, I will not mention any of them, but anyway, where they line up for it or like the checks all over the place. And then just 6 months later, there's no demand for it.
I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the Palm Jebel Ali line from Nakheel.
No, but Palm Jebel Ali is different.
No, but that's always gonna appreciate. But that's the
Yes.
lines he's talking about.
Because
where it's
okay,
like,
why do you think Palm Jebel Ali will be successful? Did you hear about all the Asians talking about Palm Jebel Ali? Why do you think it will be successful? Everyone was saying it will be successful. Why? Because of the history. There is a history of Palm Jumeirah, and it went from this price to that price. So
it's
we go
the
back
next,
again.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the next. Yes, exactly. It's the next Wow Island and stuff like that. But we go back to looking at the history or the previous timeline of success for something similar to this, which is Palm Jumeirah. It found huge success. Even though, by the way, Palm Jumeirah, when it launched, I think back in 2004 or 5, when I was a kid, I used to hear that obviously it didn't sell out. It was slow because people were kind of skeptical about a man-made island where I can own a property on a man-made
Where
island.
it looks like a tree.
Yeah, is that sustainable owning a
Yeah.
property over there and nothing goes wrong with it? And I remember also I used to see in the news like His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid used to give some of those villas to famous people just to like get a publicity on the island, like to have eyes on the. Now everyone's looking at Palm Jumeirah, but back then no one knows anything about Palm Jumeirah. So I remember once in the news I saw like David Beckham and Victoria's Secret got a villa from His Highness in Palm Jumeirah. I'm like, why? And then there were other famous people who got. It's because of that. Later on, I understood it's because of that publicity stunt. It's like saying, David Beckham got a villa in Palm Jumeirah. What's Palm Jumeirah? What's this villa that he got a gift from the ruler of Dubai? Oh, Palm Jumeirah. Oh, man-made island. Oh, it's such a big island. It's the biggest man-made island ever made. Blah blah blah. Oh, now I got the info. But right now there is media. I don't need to do all that.
Now there's social
Now
media.
it's like, oh, just take a video of Palm Jebel Ali, go outside the sales office. You see this whole line. Oh, what are these people lining up for? Starting price of 19 million. They're lining up since 9 p.m., which is crazy, by the way.
19 million. And
19 million, yes. And they were
oh
lined up
my
since like
God.
what, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I heard. I was like, I had clients for it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going through this headache because it's like, maybe I might get the unit, maybe I might not, and I have to line up 12 hours. I'm like, no, 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 this is not for me. And plus, at that time, I was in like an agency where it was not top and off plan, so I wouldn't get priority.
Yeah.
Because here in Dubai, it's like the agency gets priority with the developer, whoever is top with them. Like let's say the top 10 with a specific developer gets priority, for
They'll
example.
get the units first
Oh
before
my
you
God, I
even
remember
touch
I used
it.
to lose out on deals because of that. When I was in a company, I won't mention its name. I had a half floor for address, the first address in Amar Beachfront. It was worth 24.5 million, and we needed 20% even check, and I got that. It was an
Yeah.
international client. He didn't have check, so we had at that time debit card authorization form.
Yeah.
And I had around 4 point something. I forgot 4.3 or 20% down payment.
Yeah.
Like they will give priority to 20% down payment, and then later on they will give priority to the top 27 companies with with the Amar.
Yeah.
And the company I was in wasn't top 27. I lost out on a deal. Exactly. So it's like it's crazy. I mean, off plan has been crazy since like 2 years and a half back to our
Initial
our
conversation.
initial conversation. Exactly. So anyway, so hopefully by the next episodes we'll be speaking about more into like deeper analysis
Specific
of areas and
topics,
master
specific
plans and
communities.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yes, exactly. And hopefully we'll keep it shorter this time.
And
Thank you for listening, Aaron. I hope
thank you. Yeah. And have a good day.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Okay.